Good morning. How are we doing? So, should I weigh myself? I'm doing everything right, but I'm not seeing results. What should I do now? What should I do? I don't think it's going to work for me, what should I do? Now, firstly, I want you to know that a recent study that came out that showed that the more often someone attempts to lose the 5 pounds, the less likely you are to die from all causes. Yes, of course, association. But why is this? Well, it's because you're doing the things that you pretty much know you need to do to be healthier, to be fitter, to be stronger, which are going to help with bone density, risk of disease, etc., regardless of the scales. This is the attempt to lose the 5 pounds. So firstly, you've got to consider actually doing the things that you know you need to do are already getting you healthier. And if you feel it's not working, just step back a second and ask the question of, what are you doing right now? Now define what working means. Do we even know what working means? Because if you're like, yeah, I'm doing the exercise, I'm just not losing weight at the moment. Well, what's working at the moment is you're doing the exercise. You're getting the benefits of doing the exercise, reduced risk of X, Y, Z disease, you name it, heart disease, cancer, cardiovascular, you name it. Reduce our risk, diabetes, bone density, osteoporosis, arthritis. We know from research that actually doing more can help with our symptoms of this. Of course, within reason, but we shouldn't avoid pain altogether. Going forward with that, we're getting stronger, independence as we age. So all these things must be working. We're getting stronger, we're getting fitter. So before we conclude that nothing's working and we're not sure it's going to work for us, consider that we've already got, and somewhere we talk about Fruci Fit all the time, is the 3 Fs in our Kickstart workbook. In here, the food, the fitness, the focus, 3 things that if you do, make everything else easier or unnecessary. So these are 3 legs of the stool. And one thing we talk about is you don't have to do them all at once. Guess what? You've got the fitness working already for you. Now, let's get into this a bit more. I get it though, if you want to see the scales move. So firstly, I would say, how are you using the scales? You've got 2 options that I think after years of doing this work best. Option 1, weigh yourself every day. First thing in the morning, after using the loo, before eating or drinking. Weigh yourself 7 days in a row, so a week, might be from today to next week or Monday to Sunday, whatever. Then add them all up at the end of the week, divide it by 7. So you get an average over the week. Then you compare the weekly average only with each week. So individual data points, like, oh, it's gone up 2 pounds today. Why has it gone up 2 pounds? Is it something I ate yesterday? You ignore them. You just add them all up, divide it by 7 over the week. Then you compare week on week. That is how you get a trend. And actually, I'm going to share something on this. I received a few messages this week from people, and their graphs, they've tracked it on a graph. It's like this. There. It's trending, but there's lots of peaks and troughs, which is fascinating. So that's option 1. Option 2 is I want you to go down the route of head down. Don't worry about the scales for a month. Just do the things that you know you need to do. The food, the fitness, the focus, because there's many reasons the scales can go up. Number 1, you started eating more fruit and veg, more fibre. You might have eaten a bit later than normal. You might have eaten more volume at the food. You might be a bit gassy, a bit bloaty. Number 2, maybe you've had a bit more water than normal. You have a bit more water than normal. Short term, this could result in some fluctuations. Maybe you had a bit more salt one day compared to the other. Maybe to increase your protein intake, you had something on the go and it was a bit saltier than normal. Number 4, you ate more carbs. Now, carbs don't make you fat, but for every gram of carbs, you've got 3 to 4 grams of water pulled into the muscle to store, where you store it in glycogen in your muscle. That's not fat, that will come off. That's why people lose so much weight short term when they go on low carbs or 0 carbs. Now, that might be quite motivating, but I'm just saying a lot of that will be water weight as well. Number 5, sleep. I know a lot about this at the moment with a new baby arrival, but maybe one night you sleep a little bit longer than the other. Maybe one night you wee a bit more than the other to get rid of the water. This will result in some fluctuations. Number 6, you weren't consistent with the time and day. Maybe you weighed first thing one week, then the next week you were weighing at a slimming club in the evening. There's going to be some fluctuations. Number 7, you started a new exercise program. The muscle damage you cause could be resulting in some fluctuations. Number 8, this one hurts a bit. You haven't done what you said you would do. Maybe you set some targets, but you haven't actually stuck to it. Maybe we could be a bit more accurate with what we're doing. Number 9, menstrual cycle. Maybe we've got the blow, that time, potentially. And this is why progress pictures, measurements are also really good. How you feel, how your clothes fit are also really important measures. So I hope that helps and gives you a bit more idea on why the weight, number one, can fluctuate, why it's not your self-worth. It doesn't dictate whether you're doing well or not. It doesn't dictate whether you're a good person or not. So we should definitely put less emphasis on it. But I get it's important for a lot of people. So if it is, we need to go down this route. As hard as it is, as boring as it seems, weighing daily, taking the average, or ignoring the scales, it's a lot faster in the long term. And a lot of people don't believe me. This is why I'm going to share some results, actually, from a few people who, in a blog, got a few blogs to write, who've tracked their weight. And it's like so funny. If you draw a straight line, it goes through it, it goes down. But if you look at individual data points, it's up and down, up and down. But it's the mindset to go, I've had a fluctuation, I've put on 2 pounds today, keep going. Trust the process. That's the secret. What could I change? Oh, I know I've done this. I didn't measure this. I know I've been a bit lax picking the bites, the licks, the tastes. So I hope that helps. Any questions, let me know, as always, and have a lovely Wednesday.